Lee Spieckerman, CEO of Spieckerman Media.
Former presidential campaign advisor for Newt Gingrich.
Lee Spieckerman is CEO of Spieckerman Media.
Lee Spieckerman. Lee, good to see you. Thanks so much for joining us.
Lee Spieckerman, thank you for being with us.
Joining us now is former advisor to Newt Gingrich, presidential campaign.
And Spieckerman Media president, Lee Spieckerman.
This entire Russia thing is inconsequential idiocy. Frankly, if I were Donald Trump, and this is just me, I would pardon myself and every member of the White House, from the top officials to the receptionist, and then bring in a new attorney general and get rid of Mueller.
You make a lot of good points, Lee, but the fact is the mainstream media and the left will go ballistic if he fires Mueller. Do you really
They
want...
already have.
Yeah, no, they already have.
It's overmodulation. You ever listen to overmodulated audio? You can't tell the high notes from the low notes.
Yeah.
They are screaming. If I hear the phrase, "This is deeply troubling, this is deeply concerning," again, I'm going to puke.
Oh, God.
It's absolutely crazy. This is never talked about, but if you look at Aetna, Cigna, and United Healthcare, who helped write Obamacare, their stocks over the past 5 years have tripled. They have advanced more than Apple. Are you going to tell me those health insurance companies have done more for America than Apple? It has to be kept in mind that the Obamacare only affects about 7% of the population. That's significant. It's millions of people. We've got to take care of them. Frankly, I think we need to take a very serious look at a trade tariff. We import nearly $2.2 trillion worth of goods in this country. We need a tariff on that.
Do you want the border adjustment tax?
I don't want that, because the border adjustment tax is a whole nother tax regime.
Okay.
We're trying to simplify taxes on top of the existing tax system. The businesses would have to calculate that separately. Crazy. This country is sick of this. Even people who don't agree with Donald Trump know we have got to get back on track on government. What we're going to see is Donald Trump is going to, when he has to, use executive orders. We have nearly 1 trillion barrels of oil worth of coal, and we have the technology.
People would have had a canned response ready to go.
Maybe there wasn't a good response. You know, sometimes when there's nothing to rehearse, when you don't have any lines, you don't have a script, it doesn't matter how much you rehearse because there's nothing to rehearse. And authenticity sells. It's as if Donald Trump did something wrong by getting the most votes. And one thing the Republicans have done so poorly, frankly, including Speaker Ryan, is market these ideas to the American people. So what Donald Trump is talking about is real conservatism. Conservatism is pro-Americanism. It is not pro-globalism. What I will say is I believe, contrary to what we're hearing from a lot of the pundits, the idea that we're going to have a contested convention is borderline fantasy.
This is the first major natural disaster of Mr. Trump's presidency. What do you think of the response so far, Lee?
Government at its best and at its worst. At its best, by all accounts, President Trump's marshaling of the federal government to respond to the hurricane and to the flooding has been top-notch. Also, the worst, you know, our fourth largest city, Houston, shouldn't be vulnerable to this kind of flooding. We shouldn't have a housing development with 40,000 people in it, the overwhelming percentage of whom are Hispanic and African American, that are in mortal danger, run out of their homes every time we have a major storm, even storms much less severe than this. I guarantee you we're going to see cities shut down because of blizzards, and we're going to see massive power outages when we could be distributing or having incentives for acquisition of these Tesla batteries that can run a house for hours or even days. We can have solar roofs all over the country so that people can be off the grid and still function. Let's get our cities ready for these events so that we don't lose lives and shut cities down and suffer major economic damage. We can do a lot better. We can do a lot better, though.
Lee, thank you so much. Lee Spieckerman.